Next up is Trident, and Trident, as they tend to do, different Formula 2 team as they are a Formula 3 team. They had Richard Verschoor and Calan Williams all year, with a lovely cameo from last week's guest on the podcast, Zane Maloney, at the finale. A little easier to say. I think Zane, we're going to speak about a lot next year, I believe. And we like Zane Maloney, very quick driver, very nice guy. And most of all, watches a podcast. Who'd have thought? So, hello, Zane. But Richard Verschoor and Calan Williams, they're the drivers we're going to focus on. Where do we start then? Do you want to start on Calan Williams, Josh? Do you want to start on Richard Verschoor? Trident, take us away.
Okay. I remember I was sent a comment in the preview video. Like, I can't wait to see Calan Williams wipe the smile off of Josh's face. To that I say, touche. He wasn't a million miles into the stratosphere, but for the first couple of rounds, in Bahrain and Jeddah, he proved pretty decent, pretty competent, especially when you consider that Trident is not as good as they are in F2 as they are in F3, and Richard Verschoor is his teammate. And Verschoor is a highly regarded dude and someone who I cannot for the life of me understand was dropped by Red Bull. So that's the caliber of teammate you're going up against, and he was there or thereabouts. He fell off as the season went on, which, to be honest with you, that happened as well with Verschoor. It was probably more of a team thing than an individual driver. Wasn't quite up there with Verschoor, but again, it was a bit of a hard one in terms of like Verschoor's a caliber driver. And then he buggered off, and I think he realized that this wasn't going to play much cop, which, fair play to him, like realize the realities of motor racing. But nowhere near as bad as I thought he was going to be at the start of the season. So, kudos to him in that regard. With Verschoor, I don't know, Tyler, what do you reckon?
Okay, well, just quickly, I'm pretty sure this is facts, so I really hope I'm not spreading false information on this, because that is literally what my job is to do here, is to do the opposite of that. So, I'm pretty sure, though, that Verschoor was part of the decision to leave Red Bull because he didn't want the pressure, and I think that
did he? Well, I didn't know. I just woke up one day and he wasn't on the Wikipedia page.
I think he's following a similar sort of step as Dragovic, in the sense that he clearly has something there. The question is, can someone like Verschoor switch it into gear just like Dragovic has this year? That's the part that I'm not so sure about. He is 21. He has got time on his side. He has had a good year. And I think that winning the first race of the season always helps, because obviously it always gives you that sort of early boost and people remember you. And he got another, a couple of feature race podiums as well. The problem is that when he's off, he is off. It's sort of on or off with him. It's never sort of in the middle. His consistency is a major issue. So again, I think if he can get a season sorted for next year a bit earlier, that will give him a bit more time, a bit more pressure off, because that's his issue right now, is money, and it has been for a while. So yeah, I think that Verschoor has got something in him. I think he had a good year, but I think the interesting thing is I get the feeling that Trident are maybe a bit better than they're being portrayed in F2. I don't think they're as good as they are in F3, as you said, Josh, but I think they are a little bit better than they are performing as. So I think Verschoor can step up a bit further.
Calan Williams, though, Tyler, what's your thoughts on this driver? Without going into the ratings at this point, but Calan's season in 2022.
Reverse of Cordeal, I actually was really surprised by him. He was the driver that I was most surprised about in the first 3 or 4 rounds. I remember early on in the season when Calan Williams finished 4th in the sprint race in Jeddah. In the corresponding feature race, he looked really quick. And from that point onwards, it just got worse and worse, to the point where I thought to myself, did he just have some mega setup trick on his car? Because it's really weird seeing a driver start so well as a rookie and then that just vanish. I wish, a lot for him, because I think he's a really nice guy. but in terms of his season, it's sort of like Cordeal, but you could even argue that it's worse than
It was
Cordeal.
the other way around.
Yeah, it's
with Cordeal, it was a bad start, and then the last round or two were brilliant. With Williams, the first round or two were brilliant, and then the rest of it was just nowhere.
In that sort of sense, then, guy. Well, let's go with you as guys. Josh, would you give a very similar rating then for Calan Williams as we did for Cordeal because of that?
I don't know. It's difficult because you do get enamored by the one or two good results. You know, like the thing that is in the benefit that, like I say, it's a reverse Cordeal. The benefit for Williams here is that he didn't get a race ban, didn't get anywhere close to one. And he did have, remember in Bahrain, where was it the feature race where he was in good position and then tried to send him out with 3 wheels. So yeah, I don't know. I think a C average probably is a decent rating to give him. And by the way, I didn't say my thoughts on Verschoor. Very good. That's it. Okay, Tyler, what do you
Cut.
We gave Caldwell, a C-. We gave Cordeal a C-, basically. I think that he's in that category again.
You didn't get a race ban though.
That's something I didn't take into account with Cordeal. So maybe we F Cordeal. Just a thought.
Where are we sitting then, guys? I'm thinking C is probably fair from.
Okay, C, yeah, C.
That. Josh?
Yep. Yeah.
Not strong enough for us. Verschoor, though, probably worthy of higher than a C. Tyler, where are you going to put Verschoor with your rating?
Instant thinking sort of B, maybe B-.
Minus. The guy had 4 podiums.
Yeah.
He had the win and then 3 other P2s.
I know, but it's that middle bit. He said it himself. He just said that it was just off, and that was the thing. It was, if you have the pace throughout, but the performance is sort of inconsistent, you can say, well, look, he's shown it. It's just a question of avoiding silly things. But when you just have a period of no points finishes for like 4 or 5 rounds, it becomes a bit more of an issue because you can't just do that. So I think I'd give him a B. I think a B, because I think that considering he is a driver who is kind of, so I'm surprised he's still where he is in motorsport because of his money problem in terms of. I make that sound like he's involved in the mafia, but I mean as in his issue with having.
He wasn't
money.
born into a Stroll family, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, he's certainly fighting the sort of the boundaries of motorsport, you can argue, and I think that for that sake as well, it adds a bit more pressure on him because he doesn't know what the next thing is. It could be done like that. So, yeah, I'd say B for sure.
Josh,
yeah, agreed there.
Well, that was pretty damn quick. B for sure. I think that's probably fair. I think that's pretty damn fair.